Welcome back to another episode. For those who've just joined us or new to the channel, welcome. Glad you could join us. We're going to try and make a bit more headway today with the Renault. Let's see if we can't get this body off. We got a quick look around this already, and it looks like it's going to be one of them jobs where you think it should be pretty straightforward, but in reality, it's not going to be quite as simple. The rear of the body doesn't look to be too bad in how it's mounted, but as we come up to the front, half of the vehicle, things get a little bit more interesting and a little bit more involved. As you can see, there's a steel plate welded here onto the rail of the body, and in turn we got a whole heap of stuff that's mounted to that. So you're going to have to take this exhaust off, this muffler off, the air cleaner box has to come off. There's a load of stuff around the other side that has to come off as well, like the battery box. We've taken the underrun protection off already, as you can see, and the crane. Now, we didn't film any of that, unfortunately. So as I said, this side then we got the battery box that needs to come off. And then we got little bits then, like the fact that the hydraulic tank for the winch is currently mounted to the edge of the body, so we're going to have to disconnect this line here. I think for this, we'll disconnect that down here, underneath at the PTO. We'll let that drain all the hydraulic oil out there. And then I think it's just a few small bits then, like some of these fender mountings. This front one here is up onto the body rather than onto the chassis, which I'm not entirely sure why, because if we look at that bolt pattern there, or this whole pattern there, that looks like that's where that could well be mounted. So I think we'll pull that off there. We're going to drop this down, drill it through the mudguard here. I think we'll pick up on them bolt those there, drop this one back down onto the chassis. We've got this steel plate to take off that the previous crane was mounted to. I don't know if you can see there, but it's actually been welded to the chassis leg. But I think what we'll do, we'll concentrate on getting the body off first, and then I'll give us that better access and get in here and cut these welds off. Lift this steel plate off. We're not going to need that anymore. On the rear end then, this pulley block for the winch needs to come back up. This should be mounted up on top of here, and the reason for this is to direct the pull out the front. So the winch is predominantly set up to pull from the rear, but the cable can be directed through this pulley block and back down the side of the chassis. There's another guide pulley there, and it can actually pull out to the front of the vehicle as well, which is how the winch cable is currently fed. So I know we touched on in the first video what our plans are for this. If you haven't seen that video when we collected this vehicle, as always I'll leave a link in the description. Guys, if you haven't seen that already, go and check it out. But initially the plan was to just make this into a service truck, but as we've been discussing this, I think it would be a better option, although a lot more involved and a lot more work, to make this truck a little bit more universal. And what I mean by that is we're going to make these bodies interchangeable. So I think we'll make a service body for it, and I think we're going to retain this flatbed. I think we'll reinstate the back portion of this. This has been cut off here, as you can see, when they fitted the logging crane on the back, so that's been chopped there. So I think we'll reinstate this to bring it back to around here, and then I think we'll make these make the two bodies interchangeable.
Don't think we'll be able to extend the body, because don't forget, we're going to stick a high ab on the front.
Yeah. That
body is going to come back.
Oh yeah, that's true. So we've taken one crane off the back, and we're going to put another one, or a different crane, up on the front. So we're going to fit a knuckle boom to this, to give us the ability then to obviously to lift lift certain things. I think the one we we've found a suitable crane for this. It's capable of lifting 6 tons, so that should give us a good bit of flexibility there with being able to pick things up when we are working remotely. But as Dad just said, perhaps we won't be able to extend this body, because by the time we put the crane on the front, this headboard of this body is probably going to be back here anyway, so
Might be the right length.
it might be. We may be lucky and may be able to extend it a little bit, but I guess we'll have to see how that pans out. So I think it's going to be a case of eat the elephant in small chunks.
Yeah.
We'll start at the back
Will it be a straightforward?
and work our way forward. If there's underrun protection bars or anything to go by, this is going to be a nightmare. Every bolt we tried to undo for these was seized.
So there you can see.
As you can see, we resorted to just cutting them off in the end, because we were just wasting time.
Yeah.
Right,
Let's see.
let's get into it.
It's just spinning.
Standard.
Spinning.
Just give it a little tickle. Yeah, go on.
Snap.
Is it?
Yeah.
Ah, happy days.
Snap them
The only time you welcome a snap bolt.
Yeah. Right up.
See if we can tighten it. Snap it off.
Like that.
That's the boy. That's easy, isn't it?
Yeah. New bolts. Try that with the other one.
No, he's too far gone.
Is he?
Yeah. So the nut on the back of this bolt is rounded off on the inside. There's a significant amount of rust on the inside of this chassis leg, and to be honest, it's eating away at the nut, so that nut's rounded off. What we should have done, first as last, as we did with these two, was just gone straight ahead and tightened them first rather than loosening them, and just sheared the bolt off, but there we are.
Wise afterwards, then.
Always wise afterwards. So I think what we're going to do now, we're going to take this this bit of
Remaining
all,
bolts of
yeah,
the
this
crane.
bit of all thread off here that was holding down the crane. This has to come off anyway. There's just one bolt there through
With the anti-roll bar.
through the anti-roll bar link there. So I think we'll just loosen that off now. Undo him, loosen him off. We pull that
Those bolts.
pull that bit of all thread out, and then we can get in. Should be able to get in behind here then with the sawzall, and we'll just chop him off. Not too bothered. I was going to be scuffing the chassis with this, but it's just going to end up being painted anyway. Blasted and painted, so. Let's see. I think a little scuff on our chassis leg is the least of our worries when you see how much rust is on the inside of that and the cross member. Tidy. And again. Right. I might rattle it off now. Okay, right. Smoky. Let's walk. Right, go on. Right, so we got them bolts out there. That wasn't too bad, to be honest. They're a little bit tight for the gun to crack off initially, but they come apart. They come apart. Broke able to break the torque on them, no bother with the bar. So I think we're going to tackle this battery box next. So one thing we have noticed with this, mind, as we've been driving it around, is you've got a hell of a lot of blue smoke coming out the exhaust. She appears to be burning a fair bit of oil. So we're definitely going to have to take a look at that as a priority, really, before we end up with a runaway. I'm hoping that it's going to be something simple like seals on the turbo. Because we come to realise that finding spares for this, or spares are not exactly readily available for this, certainly in the UK anyway. No doubt there's plenty of places over in France that are breaking these or still have stock of spares. In fact, if we got any French watchers of the channel, we'd much appreciate if you could reach out to us and maybe able to give us some recommendations on places that we can contact to try and get some spares. My French is not the best, because bonjour is about as good as it gets. What about yours?
Merci beaucoup.
Yeah, oh yeah, okay.
S'il vous plaît. Aujourd'hui.
Well, together we might be able to string something together then.
Yeah. And if you can't, there's always Google Translate.
Yeah. I remember we went skiing once to the Alps, and we'd gone on a night out, a bit peckish afterwards. Yeah. Ended up with this little burger shack. Yeah. So it can't be too hard to order a burger, is it? So I tried my best French to order the burger. Ended up ordering it without the patty. So I just had lettuce, mayonnaise, and bread and the buns. Yeah, so
right.
If it's left to me, I'll probably end up ordering a differential without any gears in it or something. Right. That shouldn't be too bad. Unless there's one behind there, but you can't guarantee there is, can't you?
What size you think?
Guarantee. Oh no. Hey, hang on. Might be lucky. Just that one, I think.
Is it?
Yeah. And everything over there doesn't appear to go through that plate. That plate seems to be notched. Oh, and it comes across the top. So we might just be lucky.
There's a drain valve under here.
Right, well, after a bit of a fight, it turned out to be 6 bolts at the front of that plate there. So we ended up having to drop this bottom tank off as well. We've just chucked him back up for now because we left it dangling just by the lines, just while we gained access. But all the bolts are out now off this side. So I think we're going to make a start now on the other side. Learning from the other mudguard we took off, I think we're just going to go ahead and crank these up and snap them off. Save messing about. No?
Undo it.
Other.
Go on. 1. 2. Yeah, then just gonna. As you wind him off, try pulling the mudguard out. If you can. Right? Yeah. Hang on. Stop.
Oh,
Just lost my grip. Okay.
hang on. It is going.
Is it?
Yeah. Push that mudguard out.
Yeah, I'm leaning on him.
Go on.
Yeah, look. Threaded gone.
That's typical, isn't it? Revert to type, I think. Much easier. Well, they've come undone easier than I thought.
What?
As I said, this one is sea solid.
Commentator's curse.
You might have to stay on. You'll have to pull him off on the other side. Top. Looks like there's a lot of exhaust cement on it. Must have been leaking.
On a banali clamp.
Yeah, there we are. Should be enough to get the box off anyway.
It'll wiggle off there.
As we mentioned previously, we're going to end up putting a stack on this anyway. Mind, I don't think we're going to have much of a choice looking at the state of that muffler box. Look at that. And we can see that in the camera. The light.
And it's been repaired on the top as well.
It's rusted right through. Watch yourself, then. That'd be off then.
Thinking you might be able to wiggle it.
Right, watch yourself.
Put this bolt back in this banali clamp.
Yeah, you may as well. We'll end up trucking anyway. We'll end up having to put stainless clamps on, won't we? It's a better look at that muffler. Look, completely shot. Could be patched. Don't get me wrong, but
oh yeah, if you can't get one, or you.
As we said, we're gonna put a nice stainless stack onto this. Alright.
Yeah. Camera.
Alright, so we've got that little cluster of stuff off from this side. And looks now we've just got a couple of bolts through this plate then into the chassis legs. We go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's one right behind there as well. 7. We might have to take this intake duct off as well to get to them, make for easier access. And then we're going to pop this bleed nipple out there, or this bleeding point for the clutch. But that just looks like that's a bulkhead connector, so if we whip that nut off it, we should be able to push that nipple back through the chassis leg then. Obviously it won't clear at the minute, because when this body gets lifted, this plate's need to come straight up vertically. And obviously this nipple is sticking through this cutout in the plate, so get that out of the way. And then I believe it's going to be just a case of these couple of mountings back here, and we're going to have to disconnect this spool valve. This is for the winch. This is the winch controls. It's both mechanical and electrical operation on this. So you could put a lever on here if you wanted and operate it from the outside. And there's also a solenoid on there that goes up to a switch in the cab, so it can be operated from in the cab. But as you can see, these hydraulic lines go up and over the rail of the body, so you have to whip them off, pass them back through to be able to lift this body off. You'll have to look for a different place to mount this, obviously. If we go ahead with the idea of making interchangeable bodies, one big issue we're going to have to come is this fuel tank here. Obviously if we were doing just a permanent service body on this, we could incorporate this up on the back of the body or somewhere in the body, but making it interchangeable means this is going to have to stay attached to the chassis leg. Now when you run in this body, or a flatbed body like this, not so much of a problem. You can just pretty much stay where it is, no issues there. But with the service body, that's going to be taking up vital space. Ideally we're going to want a cabinet right about there. So yeah, that's something we're going to have a bit of thought around and come up with a solution, but problem for a later date.
You off?
Right, so this line here is the main supply line from the tank down to the PTO pump on the back of the gearbox. I'm having a bit of difficulty getting a spanner in here, to be honest, between the bulkhead and this header tank. We just spoke a little bit about this now, and we're going to have to repipe this anyway, because obviously when we put the high ab on the front here, we're going to have a different hydraulic tank as part of the high ab. And we're going to have to plumb in a three-way valve as well for to divert the flow between the high ab and the winch, because we want to retain the use of the winch. So I think what we're going to do, we're just going to chop this off here with the sawzall. We can chop it up close to this fit in here. So if we do end up having a use for this, we can just get another fit in swaged on the end. We're not cutting too much off the pipe there. She goes. Obviously, if we were to reuse this, we'd have to give this pipe a good flush out. Get rid of all the iron filing from the steel braid that's around this. But we'll deal with that if it comes to it. Right, I think we're just about ready to start pulling on this thing and find out what we've forgotten to disconnect. We've cleared, well, everything of value off the bed. I think we're going to use these lifting eyes here, I think, or these tie down points that are built into the bed to lift it off. I think we'll chuck a couple of straps through them now, one on each corner, and see if we can't lift this thing off. Yeah, I guess we see what it sound like with a straight pipe. You ready? I think I want us a straight through stack. You can hear the turbo whistle, see, with a straight pipe. Yeah, I think we might have to straight pipe it. Right, finally got a rigging set up. I think it's going to work. We only had 3 of these ton slings, so we've had to use a strop instead, but it appears to be the same length as the strap, so
All we can do is give it a whirl.
let's see how much stuff is still connected.
Taking up a bit. Something, innit?
Yeah, we haven't left the bolt in, it's pivoting on, have we?
Can't see anything?
Anything on the other side? A bolt to be left in or?
Right, well I think we were hanging up slightly on one of the studs. It was just sticking through enough to catch on that side plate there. But what we're going to do now, we've taken off the back 2 straps. I'm going to bring the arm of the digger up here and just do a straight pull up on the front. I'm not too sure if the centre of gravity was slightly out on this, which is just causing the back end to come up rather than picking the front up at the same time. So we'll do a 2-point lift on the front now and see if we can just do a straight pull up to get these 2 plates disengaged from the chassis.
That's what it was.
Right, well, I think we'll start. If I pick it up now,
Yeah.
get a timber,
You go right.
one of them 2 plates to sit on top of the chassis leg just to keep the front end up.
Yeah.
We'll bolt to the rigging, and we'll re-rig it, and pick it off.
Under there.
I go on the top over the cross member as well. Look,
Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
one on the other side,
Right.
and we'll drop it back down onto that. And we'll have to alter the rigging end. Right, it's obviously a lot heavier on the front, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, the hydraulic tank.
Which is going to be a hydraulic tank and them plates. Them plates are what, 10mm
thick.
Probably more than that, 15mm thick. Yeah, probably a fair bit of weight in it. If I drop it down now then,
Yeah.
we'll have to see where we can pick it up.
Yeah. We're going to need a shorter hitch that side, aren't we?
No, what I think we'll do, we'll bring our lifting points back on the rear, so we end up with a
Shorter.
longer pull to the back.
Right.
She'll pick up on the front first, in theory.
So do you want that longer strap?
No, use them 4, use the 2 straps you got at the back.
Yeah.
You just shift them probably 2 points forward.
Right.
We come to these.
Yeah, if we can get them out.
Put them on, I'll jump up now. Put them on these.
Yeah. So we go through to these ones here. You need the pry bar to get that out.
Yes. Bit of force exerted through it.
This is why you use shackles, if you got them.
We haven't got them. Level 4 anyway. I'm sure health and safety would be best pleased about me prying these apart with a pry bar.
So off this one, you think?
See a bit where pipes in there. Well front heavy, isn't she?
Yeah.
Right in, mate.
Them plates are on the front of the work of art, mind how they got all the holes to line up.
They must have put them on and then drilled through the chassis. They must have done it at the same time. We dropped the body on and then drilled through the plate and the chassis.
Yeah.
Not the way after a minute.
Right, well there we have it guys. That wasn't too bad, all things considered. That one little hold up there with that stud sticking through. But not too bad really. See, there's the crane that came off it originally. Unfortunately, looks like this old girl is going to become a load of bean cans. We've had it listed now for a couple of weeks. We've had no takers whatsoever, even though it's listed for no more than what it would be in scrap value. It's a shame to see it be cut up because no doubt somebody could bring this back to life. But unfortunately, there's no takers. We can't keep her here, so she is going to be destined for the scrap pile. Now with this body off, we have got a lot more access, and access we're going to need, to be honest, because as you can see it is very, very crusty. This is going to need a good well, at least a good needle gun, a good clean up, some rust inhibitor and paint. Ideally you'd like to get it sandblasted, but That's a whole another load of work to do that. I don't know, we'll see. There's going to be quite a few bits that going to need remanufacturing. These bump stop brackets here look completely rotten, and so is, we can get to it, this rear cross member, rotten right through, look. So I'm going to have to fabricate a new one of them. Shouldn't be too difficult in all fairness. But we definitely need to address these chassis rails before they get too bad. I know they are crusty at the minute, but they're not certainly not beyond a good clean up, a good paint. I think this is going to make a pretty good base for a service truck. What do you think?
I think so. Bit of work to do. Remedial. Repairing.
Yeah, I just mentioned that now.
Yeah.
Couple of rough spots on it I need addressing. Now his body's off, look, we can see the winch. It's a big old girl. Some pulling power behind that, I bet. Oh, another little job that we're gonna have to we can do easier, I should say. Now the body's off. It's just this gear linkage.
Yeah.
So as it stands now, we're gonna have a lot of travel into first, and then we'll come back through into second. There's very little before the shifter bottoms out in the in this housing in the cab. So I think we're gonna adjust this ball joint on the back. Hopefully we can even that even the throw out on the gear stick. Should make it a little bit nicer to drive. I think next video for this now we'll be attacking this rust. As I just mentioned, we're gonna have to make a cross member, address these chassis legs, and I noticed when we had the cab up earlier, the wheel arches are rotten through as well. So we're gonna have to do a little bit of panel work there. We'll try and catch all the rust now while we can, or while we got it disassembled in this state.
Yeah.
Just before everything gets too rough or too far gone. But all things considered, she's not too bad at all.
1995 build.
And hopefully, once we've got all that addressed, all the rest addressed, and we've got a solid base, we can start making that body. I think this is going to look cracking with a service body on. We've got a welder generator to go up on the back, going to get a compressor on the back of it. High ab to go on the front. So I think we're going to mount the high abs, or the high ab's going to mount somewhere around here. So it means the body is going to probably be around here, start here, and then we'll fly it out over the back axle and probably come to around about here with it. Hoping to put a fold down workbench on the back. We'll have that. Hopefully we can tap into the hydraulics on that and have it fold down. And the reason for that is eventually, a long way off yet, I want to put a drawbar hitch on the bottom of it so we can tow a trailer. So she's 18 ton gross as she is now, but I think she'll tow up to 32 ton. She'll do 32 ton train weight, so there's a bit of potential there to be able to tow with this thing, which would be ideal for us really. If we can get a drawbar trailer to go behind this, at least then when we go to shows and such, we can take a bit of kit with us. As always, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. I know it's a little bit different to what we usually post for the classic plant and machinery, but if you have enjoyed and you want to see more of this, then please give us a like or drop a comment below, just so we can gauge feedback. I know the channel's still, it's very early days yet for the channel, so we're still trying to gauge your guys' interests and what exactly you want to see more of on the channel going forward. Obviously with this, this is going to allow us to bring a fair bit of fabrication work to the channel as well. So we've got lots of welding, cutting, etc. That's all going to come when we come to making the body. But yeah, either way, drop us a comment down below of what you want to see on the channel, and then we'll take that and we can make sure then that we're bringing you guys what you actually want to see. Well, we're going to go ahead now and just blank off the hydraulic lines that we had to disconnect to remove the body, protect them from the elements, find a place for this body, and then I think we're going to call it a day. Home just in time for tea and before the rain. Looking at that cloud. See you guys on the next one.